Ultimately, today, I want to explore the common obstacles that often prevent people from showing up with confidence as they approach their opportunities. And at the end of this discussion, I want to provide some practical tips and strategies that's going to help us overcome these challenges that often hold us back. So, family, to begin the conversation, if you would please comment below, I belong here. I belong here. Wherever here is for you. Whatever vision you have, whatever goal you've established, whatever dream you've manufactured in your mind, that's your here. And I want us to step into this week operating with the understanding that you belong here. You belong in the room. You belong at that seat at the table. You belong in that opportunity. That's where you're supposed to be. I belong here. Michael, great day to you, brother. Hope all is well. Glad to have you tapped in live. Nonetheless, real quick, family, a quote that I want to share with us to begin the conversation by Nathaniel Branden. Actually, he is the author of 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, a phenomenal read. Be sure to put that on your books to read list. I promise you it's going to give you great insight. It's all about self-esteem. But nonetheless, here's what Nathaniel says. When we doubt our minds, we tend to discount its products. We mute our intelligence. We dread being visible, so we make ourselves invisible, then suffer because no one sees us. That's an oxymoron right there. Think about that for a moment. I'm going to repeat that. When we doubt our minds, we tend to discount its products. We mute our intelligence. We suppress our uniqueness and our greatness, and then we dread being visible, so we make ourselves invisible. And because we are invisible, we begin to suffer simply because no one sees us. Question: in what ways are you doubting yourself right now? In what ways are you doubting those brilliant ideas, that wild and crazy dream that you can't stop thinking about? But in the back of your mind, you've allowed your mentality to be hijacked by self-doubt. What opportunities are you allowing to slip away simply because you've been entangled by self-doubt? You could have went back to school, right, and been had your undergrad or your master's or your doctorate. But because you keep overanalyzing it, you keep talking yourself out of it, and you're procrastinating and putting things off. You could have been started that podcast, right, and sharing valuable information and your valuable experiences that can impact the lives of others. But ultimately, you find yourself in a position where you're afraid to fail. So you never take that initial step. You could have took on that higher position at your job and furthered your career where you'd be earning more income, managing bigger projects, but you talked yourself out of it because you were battling with imposter syndrome, and you allowed imposter syndrome to win that particular battle. You could have took that business idea and started that venture, but because you keep comparing yourself unfavorably to others, you're not taking that initial step. In so many ways, like self-doubt can impact the way that we show up, family. Think about it from this perspective. Like self-doubt will put you in a position where it's hard for you to even acknowledge your growth and your progress. For many people, you receive compliments and people are giving you credit for the work that you're doing, but because you're doubting yourself, you're not even receiving the compliments that other people are providing you. And it's hard for you to even see the progress that you are making. A few weeks ago, family, I created this post. I think it was on Instagram or maybe it was on YouTube, where I put a post out. It was a video. And I was talking about the importance of remaining disciplined to accomplish your goals, to level up your life, and why it's so very important for us to stay consistent. And in the comment section, somebody replied to that particular video with a statement where they said, I'll say it almost verbatim. They said, what's the use? What's the use, Mr. Gibson, when God and life are just going to piss on your plans? And anytime I receive a comment like that, the way I've trained my mind is I become inquisitive. I become curious about what would lead someone to think with such a defeated mindset to the point that they instantly shut down any idea or any possibility of their life becoming better. What would put someone in a state where instantly they reject any notion of things in their environment or their circumstance getting any better? And as I thought about that, family, I began to realize that most people, the average person, bases their level of ambition on their current situation, their current competencies, their current capabilities, their current conditions, their current situation and circumstance, or maybe even their past, to the point that they feel as if what is will be. And things can never change, things can never be different. And they begin to adopt this mindset of what psychologists label to be learned helplessness. Everybody comment below, my story can change. And that's something that we have to firmly believe. That where you are right now doesn't have to be where you remain. That the situation that you find yourself in doesn't have to always be this way. That your destiny is not determined by your history, right? You can always reinvent how you show up. You can always transform your reality. You can change the trajectory of your life, but it starts right here with your mindset, family. We have to understand the agency that we have to initiate positive changes in our life. What I'm saying is don't underestimate, the capacity that you have to create something new. And this is dangerous territory to be in, family, because what often happens is self-doubt is often rooted in underdeveloped self-esteem, where in so many ways, individuals find themselves feeling as if they're not enough, they're inferior, or as if other people possess something that they innately don't have, so therefore they're limited to what they can accomplish in the areas that they can succeed. Or in some cases, some people are struggling with the lack of self-acknowledgement, self-love, self-appreciation, and feeling worthy of new levels of success in everything that life has to offer. It's important for us to understand. Here's a key point. If you're taking notes, write this down, family. What we make an effort to learn and what we make an effort to achieve is largely based on what we think is possible and appropriate to us. Another way to put it is your attitude about yourself will determine your abilities. The status of your self-esteem plays a role in what you view to be possible for you and your life. When self-esteem is low, our resilience in the face of life's adversities and challenges is diminished, right? And let's not get it twisted. You can be operating at a high level. You can be achieving success, even in your own right, and still be struggling with self-doubt. For many people, they can often sabotage their own personal success when they lack the belief in themselves. When an opportunity is presented unto you, and because your implicit beliefs about yourself maybe clash with that opportunity, you will find a way to reject that moment, to run away from it, or just say, I don't want to take this on, right? And this is really what gives birth to imposter syndrome. Like I mentioned earlier, where opportunities are presented unto you, but because you feel as if you're not worthy of them, you can't handle that level of success, or you don't have what it takes, you reject it and shy away from it. And it's like that quote earlier. You mute your intelligence and you run away from being visible, but then you suffer because nobody sees you. Is this resonating with anybody? Put a number 1 in the comments below if you're picking up what I'm putting down, family. We're talking about self-doubt and how it influences every aspect of our life, how it influences how we show up, how we interact with others, the decisions that we make as it relates to the opportunities that we say yes to. And it's so very important that we learn to develop in the area of our self-esteem, our self-competence, so that we can become effective as we approach life's opportunities. So we can seize the moment when it presents itself. Because keep in mind, family, opportunities often have an expiration date. Opportunities of a lifetime have to be seized in the lifetime of that opportunity. And if you're not there where you need to be mentally, emotionally, and psychologically, you may miss your moment. One more point that I want to make, and I want to transition to a quick story, and then we'll tie it all together, family. But ultimately, most people, what they aim to do is they aim to create from a state of lack. a state of unworthiness, a state of doubt, a state of inferiority, right? And you're not at your best when you're creating from a state of lack. When you feel insignificant, you're not at your best. In fact, we are at our best when we create from a state of confidence, a state of enthusiasm, a state of wholeness. This is when we are at our best, when you show up to opportunities believing in the value that you possess, when you show up for your moment, even in the face of doubt, and when odds are stacked against you, you redefine possibilities because of the power that you believe that's at work within you. And this is the mindset that we have to learn to have. Family, my professional career as a speaker has opened up many doors for me. I've been blessed with opportunities to speak for organizations and conferences, creating content, doing voiceover work, as well as hosting amazing events, ranging from formal events all the way to professional sporting events. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to MC a boxing event. And I love emceeing boxing events, family, because I'm a former boxer myself. I love the energy and the space and really just being entertained by two individuals in the ring going toe-to-toe and blow for blow. Now, to give some context to what's happening in this particular story, leading up to this event, this is a few weeks ago. Now, a few weeks ago here in the Midwest, we had these huge storms that came through. This is the top of the year of 2025. Huge winter storms that came through that directly impacted this particular event. I'm talking about travel for many of these fighters that are coming to compete, and many people that are actually working at this event to help execute it were unable to make it. So as I'm plowing through the snow, I'm driving to the event. I get there, I show up, and y'all, it is chaotic. Stuff is going on all over the place. Fighters are missing, right? They're running behind schedule, looking around. I don't know what's happening. My mind is just focused on connecting with the promoter. I got to find the event planner. His name is Cedric. I'm like, I got to find Sid. So I'm looking around, people all over the place. I see this brother. He's got this event staff shirt on. So immediately my attention directs itself towards him, and I start moving closer to him. As I'm getting closer, I'm noticing homeboy got like 6 or 8 people just tugging at his attention, right? Trying to get his attention, asking him questions. I show up, I stand there. Now, mind y'all, family, I was only there for a few minutes. Few moments, I'm standing there. Immediately, we lock eyes. Me and homeboy look at one another. He's stopping everybody. He's like, hold on, wait. Who are you? And I'm like, okay. I started to introduce myself before I can even utter a word. He says, who are you? Because you look like you're running things. He says, who are you? Because you look like you're in charge. Now, as I'm telling this story, family, mind y'all, I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just using this as an example on how we should show up. In this moment, I'm like, yo, I'm the MC. I'm going to be hosting the event. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? We begin to put things together, orchestrate things. We created order in that moment. Got this event started on time, had a great and amazing event, amazing fights, amazing experience that the fan had, and we wrapped this thing up. But I want to rewind to that moment when I entered the scene, because I think that went over our head, y'all. When I showed up, family, I want to give us 3 points to this story, okay? When I showed up, I didn't say a word. I didn't utter a word. I didn't say my name. I just showed up with my energy. And immediately he said, hold on, who are you? You look like you're in charge. Here's the key point number 1, family. Be the energy that you aim to attract. And here's why. Because your energy will introduce you before you even say a thing, before you even utter a word. The energy that you represent, it introduces who you are, the vibe that you represent. This is what other people are picking up on. I stepped at the energy that I brought, family. It introduced me before I even said my name. Immediately, the way I represented myself, he knew this is a person that means business. This is a brother that needs to be respected. This is an individual that I need to recognize and pay attention to. The energy that I brought. That's number 1. Be the energy that you aim to attract. The number 2 is this. Everybody comment below. Own your space. Own your space. Mind you, I told y'all, family, it's about 6 or 8 other people that's tugging for his attention. 6 or 8 other people that are inquiring and asking questions, looking for guidance and direction. Homeboy wasn't paying attention to nobody else. I didn't say a word. I just owned my space. Side note, family, stop dimming your light simply to fit in with others. Stop dimming your light simply just to please and appease other people. It's time for you to start unleashing everything that you truly are. It's time for you to start showing up with your true uniqueness. It's time for you to start being the real and authentic you, because that's what people recognize. I didn't say a word. Everybody else is asking for my man's attention. He said, no, I got to speak to this brother. I got to connect with this individual because this person is the one that seems as if he's going to bring some energy that's going to get some things going for this event. Y'all following along with me? Lastly is this, family. Not only should we be the energy that we aim to attract, not only should we own our space, here's what we need to do. Prepare for excellence. I'll put it that way. Prepare for excellence. Another way that I'll explain it is this. If you're taking notes, write this down. You can't deliver what you haven't developed. I wish we had time to break it down, y'all. Again, if you want to be successful at anything, if you want to build progress and momentum towards the things that make you come alive, you have to prepare yourself with a level of excellence that's going to demand respect in the future. Okay? Because again, you cannot deliver what you haven't developed. D1, where are you going with this? As a speaker, I'm constantly investing time and energy in developing my stage presence, developing my influence, developing my authority, right? It's not just what I do, it's ultimately who I am and how I show up. So it's moments like that that are a byproduct of the work that I put in the past. Y'all getting along with me, right? Y'all following along with D1 saying? It's moments like that, right, where you don't necessarily rise to the occasion. No, you default to your training. And if your training is not in alignment with excellence, you're not going to perform at a level of excellence that's going to demand respect. What I'm saying is this. When it comes to us showing up with more confidence, wherever you find yourself right now, start taking the necessary steps to be in a higher position where you can operate at a level of excellence. Let's make this more personal. You may be working at a 9-to-5 right now and you have your own side hustle and you're aiming to be a successful entrepreneur. But you're working for an amazing company that's doing great work and has amazing systems put in place. You could begin to observe how they're operating their business and begin to apply that and integrate that to what you're building. You're developing something that can be delivered in the future. Y'all follow along with me. You may have an interest to impact the lives of others right now, and you're looking at your following and you only got 1,000 people, or you have 2,000 people, or maybe it's 200 people, so to speak, and you're aiming to connect with hundreds of thousands of people and you want to enlarge your influence and have a greater impact in the lives of others. Focus on that one. Focus on that one individual. It's not about connecting with the masses or the millions. No, if I can impact one person and you do the best at that, that's going to duplicate itself when your following begins to increase. Y'all follow along with me, family. Because again, you cannot deliver what you haven't developed. Here's what I want to finish this off by saying. When it comes to us showing up with more confidence, it's important for us to understand, family, that confidence is nothing different than connection. Maybe in a later broadcast, we'll break this down in more details, but ultimately, if I want to grow in the area of my confidence, I've got to establish a deeper connection. When I'm lacking confidence, when I'm showing up for opportunities, it's because I'm disconnected to often 4 categories. Number 1, I'm disconnected to knowledge and information. Number 2, I'm disconnected to skills and capabilities. Number 3, I'm disconnected to experience. I haven't done it before. This is new to me. And number 4, making it personal, you're often disconnected to the real and true authentic you. Again, when I'm lacking confidence, I may not have the information or the knowledge. That's why I feel doubt. I may not have the skills or the capabilities. This is why I second guess myself. I may not have the experience. This is why I'm underestimating my capabilities as I show up to an opportunity. Or in some cases, I may have all of those 3 marks checked off, but I'm not connected with the real me. I'm telling myself a disempowered story, and it's influencing how I show up. Again, maybe in a later date, we'll do a broadcast or a session where we'll break that down in more detail. But ultimately, here's what we need to learn to do. Number 1 is this. Ultimately, as we're showing up for opportunities this week, I want you to admit how you've been showing up. In what ways have you been doubting yourself? In what ways have you been watering down your capabilities and your potential? You've got to be honest. Honesty is the first step to progress. You got to lay it all out there and say, you know what? In this area, I can improve. In this area, I can be better. In this area, I can do things differently to create a different outcome and a different result. I've got to admit to how I haven't been showing up as my best. After you make that admittance, number 2 is this. Make a decision. Make a decision. Everybody comment below, make a decision. Make a decision that I'm no longer going to tolerate these things. I'm no longer going to tolerate these limited emotions, feeling inferior, unworthy, inadequate, not good enough. I'm no longer tolerating these thought patterns that are making me feel disempowered, a limited belief system. I can't do it. I don't have what it takes. Make the decision. And when you make a decision, ultimately you're cutting off that old way of thinking to create a new pattern for something new, which is the 3rd step. Surrender. Everybody comment below. Surrender. Surrender to a greater mind. And that greater mind is a new vision, new possibilities, a new level of success, a bigger goal that challenges you, that intimidates you, in some cases downright scares you. Surrender to that greater mind. After you surrender, begin to observe. Observe the thought patterns that aren't serving you to get there. Observe the behavior patterns that aren't supporting that goal or that vision. Observe the environments that you find yourself in, the things that you consume, and ask yourself, is this assisting me in getting to where I aim to be in life? And lastly, the 5th step, family, is begin to integrate a new way of thinking, a new mentality, a new thought pattern, a new belief system, new behavior patterns and habits that will support you in building the life that you're aiming to experience. Again, quickly, I'll run through these, and a later broadcast, we'll dive deeper into this. But number 1 is admittance. Number 2 is make a decision. Number 3, surrender to a greater mind. Number 4, observe your current thought patterns, your current mentality, your current emotional state. What emotions are driving your behavior? Again, you can't create from a state of lack, a state of unworthiness, a state of feeling inferior. No. Start being driven by emotions like confidence, excitement, enthusiasm. Create from a state of wholeness where you know for a fact what I have is valuable, who I am is valuable, what I represent is worthy. And then lastly, family, integration and implementation. Again, actively develop in the areas that will help you become the type of person that can create the life that you envision. I'll say this and then we'll wrap it up, family. When it comes to implementation, it's not enough just to think your way into acting differently. It's more about you acting your way into thinking differently. And this means you may have to be uncomfortable. You may have to do things you've never done before. You may do things that are challenging, things that make you feel some type of way, but it's through that discomfort that you're going to gain access to growth, development, and improvement. You just have to have the willingness to step into something new, something unfamiliar, something that may bring forth some uncertainties, right? But through it all, you taking that step, that bold step towards your vision, is going to give you access to what it is that you desire. So make that desire in your heart a demand in your life by you showing up differently. With all that being said, family, if you don't get anything else out of what we talked about during this conversation, I want to leave you with this. I want you to show up this week to every opportunity, knowing that you belong there. That's the mindset that we're going to have this week, y'all. I don't know about you, but your boy D1, that's the mentality that I'm living with this week. I'm showing up with the opportunity that I know I belong here. Again, whatever here is for you, whatever opportunity you're aiming to create for yourself, whatever dream or goal you're aiming to accomplish or achieve, I want you to show up every single day this week, operating with the understanding that I belong here. I belong here. I'm talking about you demanding a seat at that table. If they don't give you a seat, build your own table. I'm talking about you knocking on doors where historically you haven't knocked on. And if that door don't open, you tear down the wall and you walk through that opportunity, family. I'm talking about a new level of relentlessness, a new level of persistence where you will not be denied access to what you desire in your heart. I'm talking about you making the demand that this vision that I have in my mind will become a reality in my life. Let's operate with that understanding and move with the conviction where you know you belong here. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, family, again, comment below. And if this is your first time tuning into the broadcast, I welcome you and I want to shout you out as well. Put a number 1 in the chat and then your first name afterward. I'll be sure to shout you out at some point in time during this broadcast. Again, number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. Get that up. There we go. But I'm hoping somebody somewhere found some value in this discussion, y'all. Woo! If you were picking up what I was putting down, put some fist up in the comments below. Tear down the walls, Mia. That's the mentality. To nail my Chicago getter. It's been a while, sis. Hope all is well with you and the fam. Glad to have you tapped in live. Yes, Nicole, we got to surrender. Chatney, we cannot deliver what we have not developed. That's the mindset, family. Also, if we've yet to connect on other platforms, what are we waiting for? Connect with your boy. Let me put this up on the screen. I'm at the1 Gibson on Instagram, Facebook, also X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn if you're on that platform. And then youtube.com/David Gibson. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where you will find all of my long-form content, short films, documentary series, all designed to help you live your best life. Be sure to tap in there. One thing I'm being very intentional about here in 2025 is building our community there on YouTube. So please support that channel. I would truly appreciate that. Also, for more information on my coaching and speaking services, visit the website. You see it there, elevationisamust.com. Take advantage also of the online store that's available there while you're on the website. Again, that's at elevationisamust.com, where you can purchase ebooks, physical books, and resources, all designed to help you master your mindset, adopt success practices, and ultimately become the best version of yourself. With that being said, family, let's wrap this thing up. You got dreams to catch and success to create, so we each got to get busy being great. I got bars on this Monday morning. But nonetheless, family, if you find yourself in a difficult situation or a challenging experience, just remember that this too shall pass. Again, operate with that relentless mindset this week. There's a blessing with your name on it. There's an opportunity with your name on it. There's new levels of success that you can gain access to. You just got to be relentless. Many times life will challenge you. Many times the situations and the adverse conditions that you are in are not designed to take you out, but to prepare you for something bigger and something greater. So keep that in mind. As you're going through the storm, as you're navigating the struggle, you are being qualified for your next level. You're being positioned to create something bigger and better. Because you went through that struggle, you started tapping into strength that you didn't know you possess. And now as you're moving, you're inspiring others to do the same. Take on a new perspective as you're navigating the difficult moments in your life. And I promise you that shift in your perspective will help you change the way you see your situation and overcome it in a more empowering way. But that being said, family, if you do find yourself in a difficult situation or challenging experience, just remember, it's only temporary. So don't give up. Don't give in. Instead, I want you to give your all. And if nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember, your brother from another mother, D1 Gibson, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. So let's pay it forward, y'all. Be an advocate for positivity. Be an ambassador for love. There's a lot of negativity that's running rampant on social media and our communities. We have to be the change that we wish to see. In fact, let's take it a step further. Not just being the change, let's build the change that we wish to see. When's the last time you smiled at a stranger? When's the last time you gave a compliment to somebody that you didn't even know? Let's again be advocates of positivity and make a difference in the world in which we live. That's what it's really all about. Of course, we have our personal goals. We have our big visions that we want to experience and create and achieve. But at the end of the day, it's all about us coming into this world and making it a better and brighter place. Keep shining your light, family. Let's play our part. With that being said, family, I appreciate each and every single one of you joining us on this amazing Monday. Again, I'm hoping that you found value in this broadcast. If in fact you did, please share this out. It's not too late for you to share. They may not be able to catch us live, but they can still catch the replay. And I promise you the inspiration will still be the same. So please share this on Facebook, X, YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. But until next time, family, have a remarkable Monday. In fact, we'll be back next Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I want you to be effective. I want you to be successful. I want each and every single one of us to live with some passion. And most importantly, 3 pounds to your chest. 1, 2, 3. Be powerful. I love each and every single one of you. Have a phenomenal Monday, an extraordinary week, and I'll see you next Monday. Peace.
Loud and clear, I'm gonna make it. I can see my shot is here, so now I'm gonna take it. Gotta get up, get out, time to stand up, get loud, time to rise up off the floor. And I'm stronger than ever now, can't hold me down no more. I'm waking up, 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 I'm waking up. So I'ma do it right now, yeah, I'ma do it right now.